Hello guys, this is James, and in the last video we have talked about the data structure design and component design. And let's review what we have talked about. The first, data structure design is we have to distinguish which one is the function of the web page and which is the data. And then we have to restructure the data, means that we make some structure to make the data can be easily used in the website when we use view and then expandable. If we want to expand some new things, the data can be easily expand. So that's what we talk about. And when it comes to the component design, we have to know how to break down the functionalities. And we have to consider also the reusability and automation is something we should also be take account of. That means one component just focus on one functionality, the single functionality. All right. The next one is we just put one component as the container for the data and others just to retrieve data from it. That's also how we design the components and data. And today what I'm gonna do is to analyze the booking one. It's a very complicated one. Is when we search in the home page, and then I search the check-in date, checkout date, and then night, and the room, and then the place. Then it gave me a page like list. So it's like a result of search list. What we really can deduct from this page and how we can really design our data structure and component designs. And first, of course, we always go to the data structure. First, we have to analyze the logic. In this page, what we can do is that when we input everything in the search bar here, and then if we search, then everything will materialize. On the left side, there's something like a lot of filters, and the filters talk about, okay, if we want some very good star, we can get it, right? How many results? 111. And if we want to get a hotel with parking, it will give us like 85 results, etc., something like this. And here it also shows that some popular filters here. So it's actually it's equal to this one if we see that. All right, that's the left side, the search bar and the filter. And on the right side, we have a 77 places that's has been available. So that's really a notice of in the data we have seen how much how many hotels still available, so data like that. And then we can see that the result how many result we have 162 properties or the hotels have found, and then it shows us the nearby beaches. All right, and then it give us like a free taxi, so it's like an advertisement. So if we check it, then we can really click on some taxi service. And now here is the main content. We can see that we can really choose the order of our result by the price, by the only the entries, home, apartment, etc. And then here comes our, right, the result of exactly hotels we have, and it has different things there. And then at last, let's see, we have what we have reviewed, the view history. All right, so let's first focus on here. It's really the main result of our search. And later we can see that the data here also can affect the other places. I just have one instance because the result we have got, then here this data, how many properties found just by calculate, right? If it's an array, we just calculate some array dot length, then we can really get this number, right? So first we just focus on this. Of course, each of the, yeah, I have read already here. Each of the hotel have its specific ID. That's the one to distinguish each hotel. So in our data designs, of course, we have to put the ID here and the name of the hotel, because that's something we have to retrieve from the backend, and we should put it here. And then here we don't forget there's something like a star, I think. So I put star 3, 4, or 5. And here's a sum up. It's also some kind of reads. So I put a good. Good is 1, so maybe it's sum up. Good is 2, maybe it's like sum plus. So that depends on our definition. Okay, doesn't matter. And also, we focus on the location information here. There's a San Sebastian, and there's like 2.9 kilometers from the center and 2.8 kilometers from the beach. So we have to think, okay, there's something about the distance. Usually when it comes to the location, we should have the longitude and latitude here, because by this number, because just by those, we can really identify, okay, the place is where, right? And then this place has the distance also of it can be defined somehow, because right with this we can, if we have a longitude and latitude of another place, we just compare and make the calculation, then the distance will come out. With this too, it will give us the direction, the title, I mean the name of the place, and also on the map. So with this, it can really exactly precisely search on the map. And then about the center and the beach, and let's talk about it later. And the excellent, so we can have comments excellent, right? And the read, we just put read here. That's all the information we have to retrieve. And reviews, how many reviews, we just put the reviews here. And the comforts, as it says here. All right, so that's something we have, and here we have a lot of things we have to put into mind. All the description around here can also be reflected in the filter bars in the left side. Has free Wi-Fi, it has no smoking room. So all the characteristics, the first, they just put it here, like breakfast included. Even the breakfast, they put a text here. Okay, that's all about how we design the layout of the page. So when we talk about the data, we just know that everything just put in the tag, especially those kind of filters here, like fitness center, maybe there's a lot of tag fitness center. We just attach to the specific hotel, and later we just retrieve it and then put it on the right bars here. So that's kind of the same. So what we can find here is like breakfast included, free cancellation, no prepayment needed. All those kind of things are static attributes or characteristic of this hotel. We just put everything in the tag, all right? And a lot of things that, since we know that in the hotel there are different size of the bed, or there's something like a family studio, so it can have 4, right? Fits for 4 person, and it has here the queen bed, so we can all put, right, what kind of bed or size it has. It is queen bed, and what it has, it's a 2 bathroom, 40 centimeters. That's all the property or characteristic of this hotel. So we just use the size, or even we can create something more like the description of the place, how many rooms, to be precise what kind of the room or what can this hotel offers. And the one we lack, the first thing is the center and the beach, because the center, the beach definitely is not a characteristic of this hotel. So it's recommended that we just create another database. So in the cities, of course, each cities have its own center and beach. So we have to really create something like a city name, etc. And if we got this data, and if we got the data of the longitude or latitude of the hotel, then we can really calculate here the kilometers. Also, I think maybe if we rely on some third-party maps, maybe also we can retrieve some information from there, right, by the longitude and latitude. So this part has been solved. The second thing we haven't dealt with is this part. So there's, I think it is a very complicated logic about the hotel when it comes to, first, how many rooms available, and the price, because it's constant in change. And with the price, And also the availability, we can really calculate, all right, how much will be the night. And then also the credits is also something calculated from what we have on the price actually. So this one is calculated. It's not something, it's not a data, it's something we just can get data first and calculate it. All right, and then about the booking status or the price, I think it's essential to make another database. Why? Because all the first one just something static means it will not really change, but the last one it will constantly change the data. Also depends on, for instance, how the hotel will feed us back the price, the current price. Is it expensive in summer because a lot of people on vacation, or is it cheaper because it's not a good season for traveling? So we create something like this. Of course, each hotel, each price corresponds to the hotel, so we should use exactly the same ID as the same hotel. But here we have to really specify the date, which date, what kind of bed, so the availability and the price. We just have to put everything here. Of course, I mean, behind this database, there's a lot more complicated database to describe exactly calculate the how many rooms available, the price change, something like that. But here we just don't care, right? We just make it simple, don't care about so much about the details. So we just make a database like this. All right. And I think that's covered for more here in or one hotel. And then let's check the other one. Since we said that the very good breakfast included can all include in the tag, right? Or in other 3-star, right? All the static characteristic. So if we retrieve just data from the hotel database, we can fill in everything here, right? Price, of course, that's something different. We have to retrieve from the hotel booking because it depends on the current price. So, but overall, I think this part has been covered by just the 3 database. Then let's go to the next one. Here is just the search is a function, so it doesn't have any database here. And here, 77 places of staying are unavailable for your data on your site. So this also depends on our availability, right? So if and then 77 is also calculated because we just check the availability and then of the specific date. So if like 77% choose no, then we just calculate it out. All right, we still can cover by the 3 data structure we have created. And also the time or the date. Yeah, since we have date, it also can get from here. So this one, I think in general, it's okay. And then the nearby beaches, how to calculate the nearby beaches? Of course, it should be the nearby places. It just set a range and then we just calculate, okay. And also the nearby place should have its center and the beaches, those kind of things. Then we just calculate, okay, we're seeing a distance by calculation of the longitude and latitude, we got the really what's the name of the beaches. So maybe here in the center or the beaches, we have to put a name because we have to know that what's the name of the center and what's the name of the beaches. It can be shown here, right? The La Concha Beach, Santa Clara Island Beach, something like that. So we put a name, I think it's better. And the other thing, I think, just change the order of the right of those hotels. So as long as we really get all the informations here, we can really in the front end we just change the order of this. So I think in general, if we have the 3 database, we can really cover for or at least a majority of right the page, the data in the page. And so that's for the data part. Then let's go to the another part that is about the component structure. First of all, actually there's a lot of thing here is we still have to create, because we kind of ignore here home, Spain, Basque Country, San Sebastian. So it should have another data just regards the location. So it should have like a Spain, Basque Country, San Sebastian. So it can be indicated here, and then it can be retrieved based on our search efforts or even the location, or the IP address, etc. So there should be another database or the data structure about the location. All right, and then let's go to the structure. So this one, I think we can directly put it here, since we can just set a list, unword the list to make it happen, and only the list have something like this. All right. And the second thing is that the search bar. The search bar, what I'm thinking is just to have a component and put some forms here to search. All right. And then, right, put a button. If we get the button, then we just send a Ajax request to the backend, and then we can really search. So it can be covered just for one component. And the filtered by, since filtered by have like different tiers, the first one I think is the box, the big box itself. And in each big box, it has a compartment. So it has been divided into the small box. And into the small box, it also have some items. So I just create the 3 tiers, right? The filter will be the biggest one, and then the filter box, the second, representing each box, and the filter item representing each line. And later we should use some v4 to make more than one box. And talking about the layout of this box, we can see that it has a check box, it has the description, and then the numbers, or the breakfast included, and the 27 should be retrieved from the backend. All right. So, and later we should have a map here. So we can just use a image or the background image, and then a buttons just here. That's something simple. And then here, I just use hotel available, because here it just shows us the availability of the hotel and the date. So I think it's better to make a component. Other things here, including the title and the nearby beaches and get a taxi. Since those data are quite simple, so I just make it into an add city. It means other things, we can just put it there. Then goes to the order. This order, I think it can be just made in the bigger wrappers here, or we can make another components for it. So I just make order. And then when it comes to our main contents, you should have a big wrapper to wrap everything, item box, and then the item hotel. And in the item hotel, we just describe a lot of things like the pictures, like all the information, right? All right. And then we have everything here. Then we have the recent reviews. Recent review, it has the out wrappers, and inside it has each item. So I just create out box and viewed item. Actually, this one can be omitted, because earlier sometimes it just show up a nearby hotel, etc. But now it doesn't show up, so we just comment it. So in general, that's how we really create the, if the task is to use this as the outermost wrapper of all the components inside, and this one can serve as our structure of the components. All right, that's how we really did with the knowledge of the last videos regarding to create the data. By analyzing a very complex web page can really make us learn how to organize the data or the database and our component breakdown. So that's for today's video, and I will see you in the next.